Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and this video is probably one of the most requested videos that I've had on this channel since I started it over 2 years ago, and that's a bag dump. I have not done a bag dump. I've done zero bag content since I started this channel. I think a lot of that comes with me not being happy with the bags that I've had. I've bought a lot, I've gone through bags. I like bags, but I've never really been in love with a bag. This could change that. This is a really cool bag, and it's been recommended to me several times over the years, and it's new to me. So full disclosure, this still could be the honeymoon phase and me just being smitten with it for now, and it could change. But I think this one's here to stay for a while at least. It's got a lot of really cool features, and it has what I wanted in a bag. So with that said, this is my EDC bag dump, and let's do the damn thing. Finally. So here we are at long last with my EDC bag dump, and I've gone through a lot of backpacks over the last several years. Over the last, I don't know, 10 years, I've probably owned 30 or 40 bags, and I'm always kind of not super blown away with them. This one I think could be different. I should just get it out of the way right now and say camera bags are a different story. I have two that I really like, but my EDC bag, I don't need nearly as much out of it, and I feel like not a lot of companies put thought into their bags. They just make a big pocket and then throw it up for sale, and that's how I felt about the last several bags that I've owned. They're fine, they're made well, it's just there's no thought put into them. This bag is a little different, however. It is from Mystery Wrench. This is called the Rip Ruck 15, and I ordered this a few weeks ago. It came last week, so it is still very new to me. I've only had it for a few days and been using it for a few days, but I already really like it. And one of the main things that I really liked is it's kind of the middle ground between a zippered bag and a rucksack, which I like rucksacks. I like the idea of them, but I hate drawstrings, and I don't like roll tops. I wanted something as easy as a zipper, but as cool and as accessible as a rucksack, and that's where this bag fits in perfectly. It's called the Rip Ruck because you can just yank this lid open and you're into the bag, and I really like that. You just open it up. It's that easy, and I freaking love that. I love that you can just yank this thing open. Now the downside is that there are two zippers to close it back up, but just yank it open. That's so neat. But this is their OD green version of the 15 liters. I don't want a big backpack for everyday carry. For the longest time, I carried a massive EDC backpack, and the problem with that is that I tend to put too much in it. I'll put stuff in and put stuff in and put stuff in and then forget to take it out. And then before I know it, I've got a 40, 50 pound backpack, and that's not good, especially for every day. So I've learned to slim it down. Carrying a smaller bag helps in doing that. I got it in OD green, and it's got this really, I don't know what this fabric is. I really like the finish and fabric on it. But what I really love are these straps. They're very soft. It's a foam strap, and a lot of the ones that you get are either really hard or just sometimes on a really small bag like this, sometimes they're just straight mesh, and that's not comfortable. This thing is super comfortable. It does have a buckle. I never use buckles on the straps because my chest is so wide that I usually am all the way out on this and it's still pulling on my chest. But you've got some of that same padding down here, which is essential. But if we go back around to the front, another reason I really like this is smaller backpacks a lot of the time don't have bottle pockets. And I like having a bottle pocket, so I do typically keep a bottle in there. Today, I have this, which is just a blender bottle, which these get really messy because I put ice in them and then they sweat. So I don't have it in there right now because I didn't want it flopping around on the table, but I usually have a bottle with either water or coffee in this bottle pocket. And then you have some lashing here for attaching stuff, and then you have MOLLE attachment points on the top. And then you have a little Velcro patch on the front, which is really neat. I guess we'll start with this front pocket. There is internal organization. You can see inside this pocket, there are 3-pin loops, which I have some knives in. You have one bigger pocket, which in that I just have a handkerchief for wiping off screens. And that's all that's in here. These 2 little knives. I put little fidgety knives in here. So one thing that I think separates me from a lot of you is that I have an office, and most of my knives and gear stays at the office a lot of the time. So when I go home, I can't play with my knives or fidget and tinker. So I tend to take several home with me all the time. It's not always these two. I just kind of rotate and throw some in the bag and go home. So yeah, there are going to be an excess of knives. There's a lot of redundancy here. There's a ton of knives in this bag. I don't expect that to be normal for anybody other than mostly just me, I guess. But in here I have a Yellow Birch Outfitters pocket organizer, and I mainly have this for my pen and my notepad, which I use to take notes. I've been carrying the pen in my pocket till this bag came in, and I just threw it in here because I find myself not needing it every single day. I need it maybe once or twice a week, and it's not much more difficult to just grab it out of the bag because this bag is usually near me. Whatever EDC bag I have is usually within reach. It goes everywhere. If I come to the office, it's with me at the office. When I go home, it's there. If I'm in my truck, it's usually in my truck. So this always goes with me. I also have a little Sabenza in here, just another knife to fidget with and keep with me, and then a little Swiss Army knife, mostly for the scissors, the file. It also works really well as just like an emergency camera plate tool if I don't have something else on me, because now I've slimmed down so much, I don't always have a little camera plate tool on me, but that's all I have in the front pocket here. I did miss this. This is the hero clip that I talked about in that unusual EDC gear video. So the way these work is you can clip this carabiner here, but you can still have a little hook so you can hang your bag and keep it up off the ground. Just a very, very useful, very handy tool. These run about $15 to $20, and you can get multi-packs of them too, but that's gonna stay right there because it's just a super handy little tool to have. But that's it for the outside of the bag and this little front pocket on the inside. And I again, have slimmed this way, way, way down because I used to carry way too much all the time. I was the kind of person that would have like 50 USB cables in my bag because, you know, that's a normal number of USB cables to have on you. The first thing that's just kind of sliding out here is this little nylon zip pouch. And in here, I just have like spare face masks and face coverings. And I mainly have this in here because I've been out several times with other people who don't have one. They're like, hey, do you have a spare mask or anything? And I typically have at least one or two spares in here for other people. That's all that's in there. This is a Distill Union bag. If you buy face masks from them, they'll send you one of these bags. The other two things that you see sticking out of the bag are USB-C cables. These are extra long USB-C cables. I think this one's like 6 feet, so it's not extra long, but this one is 15 feet. So a very long USB-C cable, and I like to keep at least two in the bag because I have an iPad that uses USB-C, my camera uses USB-C, some of my headphones use it, a lot of the gear I have uses USB-C, and I don't have a ton of USB-C cables, but have a million micro USB, I have a million lightning cables, a bunch at home, a bunch in my truck, a bunch here, so having some USB-C cables always on hand is very, very nice and sometimes essential. And these are long. This one's like 6 feet. I think this one is 15 feet. So yeah, it's just nice to have those and have that extra length. And to go with that, in the very bottom of the bag, I have a Hyper Juice. So this was a Kickstarter project for Indiegogo. I can't remember. I backed it. Totally forgot about it. But on the front, you get two 100-watt USB-C ports and two 18-watt USB-A ports. And that makes this thing extremely handy. This would charge my MacBook when I had it. It'll charge my iPad extra fast. Anything. It just charges so fast, and it's small, and it's just a really, really cool little thing. I've got a few bricks like that one, but this is definitely the best one that I've picked up. You guys are familiar with this, so I won't dwell on it too long. This is my Maxpedition pouch with a little toolkit inside. It's not changed really. I think I swapped the flashlight out and maybe one or two other things, but this is just tools. I grab this Leatherman a lot. I could probably get by with a Leatherman and a flashlight, but I've got all of this stuff in here. Because why not, right? The only other thing down in this main compartment is this, and this is a knife roll from Arc Company. So like I said, when I'm not at the office, my stuff is here, and I like to have stuff with me, so sometimes I'll bring this with me, especially on the weekends. If I want to rotate knives or whatever, I'll bring some of my favorite knives with me so I can, you know, carry a different knife, and I don't have to come to the office just to switch it out. When I know that I'm gonna be away for a few days, or if I'm going somewhere, or if I wanna take some knives and show a friend, I usually grab this and throw it down in the bag. So I keep just some of my favorite or most commonly used knives down in this little bag. I can talk more about this and knife organization in another video, but really cool little knife roll from Arc Company. He surprised me with that, but it's been something I've frequently used since he sent it to me. And inside this back pocket here, this tablet sleeve, I have my iPad Pro. I've been working from my iPad Pros basically since they came out, but more recently, I've sold my MacBook Pro, so this has been my main mobile computing solution, and frankly, I love it. I've written a ton of articles in the past from iPads, and I've really just grown to enjoy them and use them as a computer. But I do everything from task management, planning out videos, chatting in the Discord, just about every single thing but shipping and editing videos from this right here. This is just my main computer, really. But the case that I keep my iPad in is actually brought to you by our sponsor for this video, Supcase. Supcase, if you're not familiar with them, they make very, very rugged and still very slim cases for all sorts of phones. This one is the Unicorn Beetle Pro case for the iPad Pro, and I love it because it still keeps the Pro very, very slim. A lot of rugged cases are very big and bulky, but this one I still feel like provides a ton of protection, but it's still very lightweight and very thin. And it's coming clutch lately because we went on vacation a few weeks ago and we didn't have our TV, and my daughter wanted to watch Netflix, so gave her my iPad. She's 16 months old. I had no worries about her holding this iPad on her own because she tends to toss things when she's done with them. So I didn't really have to worry about handing this to her and letting her watch Netflix from my iPad. I felt it was still very secure. But there are some things about this case that I really, really like, such as the kickstand. It's just one of those things every tablet case needs a kickstand, but I love that you can flip this one over and use the on-screen keyboard. I also love that it has this little cradle for the Apple Pencil. So with the iPad, the Apple Pencil 2 just sticks to the side of it using magnets, and when you throw it down in your backpack, the Apple Pencil just kind of gets lost. It falls off. This keeps it on your iPad very well. I don't think I've had it fall out of here at all, because normally even if it gets jostled, it gets sucked back in there, and the buttons on this are just super easy to use, just as easy as without a case. And the best part is that these Supcase cases are very affordable. This one is just $30. And if you want to know more about it or maybe buy a case yourself, hit the link in the description down below or go to Amazon and search iPad case by Supcase to see more and buy one for yourself. And thanks again to Supcase for sponsoring this video. All right, so we're almost done. There's not a whole lot left inside this bag. There is this pouch behind the tablet sleeve. So if I had my MacBook still, I would be tossing my MacBook in there. It's kind of hidden a little bit. You can put this flap down here so this stays open, or you can kind of shut it so it's a little more secure. There's some mesh pockets here, one on either side. There's a little divider. In one pocket, I just have a little microfiber. I think that's the only thing down in there, just for wiping screens again. And in this side, I think the only thing down in there, is a fixed blade knife. I have this in here because I'm actually wrapping up my month of fixed blade carries, and I've been switching between the Giant Mouse knives, GMF1, and the Pena X Series clip fixed blade. But I just have that one down in there so I can quickly swap out for the other one if I want to. And then all that's left are these two side pockets clipped to this one. So these pockets aren't actually, this isn't the pocket. This goes all the way through. As you can see, my hand comes all the way out the bottom. So this is just for like clipping stuff too, I guess. I don't know. The pockets are actually zippered, but I have my key bar clipped here. So these are just my post office and office keys, and I just keep them clipped there because they're out of the way. They don't impede getting to the pocket. They don't impede the zipper. It just stays there. It's an easy way to keep up with it rather than just leaving it in the center console of my truck or something. It's always in my bag, which is always with me. And down inside here, I have just one thing, and that is my AirPods. So I have AirPods Pro, and I keep them in this Supcase case. Very much like the other Supcase cases I've talked about, this one just kind of slides on. It's also got some leather to it, which really resonated with me. But I keep these in here because they're accessible, but the case does make them a little too big to carry in my pocket, and I didn't like the case by itself in my pocket because it's so slick, it would just fly out. And then on the other side, you've got a pocket similar to that one, and this one I just keep basically some hygiene stuff. I have some alcohol prep pads in there, Listerine strips, Orbit gum, and some O'Keeffe's. That's it. That's all that I have in those side pockets, and I think that is all I have in the bag. So we'll just put these things back in here and close up shop. iPad goes there, cords go right there. Toolkit goes to the very bottom, so does the knife roll. The charger brick goes also very down to the very bottom, and then this just kind of floats right there. Close it up, and this is magnetic. So this, the one thing that does kind of give me some cause for concern is I also have a little watch roll similar to the knife roll, and I'll take some watches home with me for the weekend. But if you're using an automatic watch, magnets are not good for those sometimes, especially if they don't have any extra anti-mag properties inside or technology. So that is something that maybe makes this not the best bag for every situation, but you pull these two zippers shut and you're good to go. And that is my EDC bag, and I've tried to minimize it and keep it pretty slim, but I like to keep a small bag so I don't put too much stuff in there, but one that can expand, so when I have to take more stuff home or bring more stuff into the office, I've got extra space in here for bringing lunch or whatever. Oh, and there is one more thing, hang on. To that point of being able to throw extra stuff in here, one thing that I often throw in is one of my cameras, which are rolling right now, or this, which is, it says Peter McKinnon Nomadic. This is one of the little modules that went inside his camera bag or came inside the camera bag. So I have a little Rode mic in here. I have my RX100 battery charger and a bunch of spare batteries and a microfiber. And this just zips closed. It's a very easy way to carry all the stuff for my camera. What I was saying, when I'm going home for the weekend, this can just shove right there. Bag still closes very easily. And I'm going home with a way that I can at least take photos or shoot a video. Yeah, I think that works really, really well. I'm very pleased with this bag so far, and I'll keep you guys updated on the progress of this bag as my EDC bag. But yeah, just let me know if you guys want to see more bag content, or maybe even what's in my camera bag, like when I go on a video shoot, which is something I haven't done in quite some time. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more bag content. That is going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful and you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. If you want to support what I'm doing here, hit the links in the description down below. Everything you saw in this video will be linked there, and if you click through and purchase using those links, those are affiliate links, and I get a little bit of a kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. In some cases, there are even discounts. You can also support by going to patreon.com/bestdamnedc or carrycommission.com, where you can buy gear and merch directly from me. But also follow us around the web. You can find us in most places at Damn EDC, and there's also a Facebook group and a Discord server. They're both linked down below. With that said, and until next time, carry on.